everything under the roof to make your home reflect the lifestyle for the 90s. This is the great show with great interior designs. It's traditional. It has a European flair. It's contemporary. It has everything for everyone. And it all goes to benefit the Scottish Rite Children's Medical Center. The Atlanta Home Festival, May 14th through the 31st, is located in Sentinel on the river. Call 641-9415 for more information.
What in this world can you get for $49.99? At America's Best, new patients get contact lenses or 2 pair of eyeglasses for $49.99, including the eye exam. America's Best contacts and eyeglasses. Daily wear soft contacts or 2 pair of eyeglasses, $49.99, including the eye exam. Now.
Nice catch, Joey. Nice run, Joey. Nice hustle, Joey. Nice shot, Joey. Nice move, Joey.
Nice timing, Mom.
Great tasting 10K. Really, really good stuff.
The search for the killer of an Atlanta man, the investigation today at noon.
We are pleased to welcome to our program Judy Nelson, who got more press than may be good for any good old Texas girl when she fell in love with Martina Navratilova. Here is a graduate of Texas Christian University. You better not be talking homosexuality at Texas Christian University. In Texas, men are men, and they eat nails for breakfast. And what is not so funny is that walking through this tremendous storm of publicity were her sons, Edward Nelson. Eddie is 22, and Bales is 19. I think you were 9 when this all hit, Bales. And Eddie, then you must have been 12. 12, yeah. Holy cow, Mom is in love with a woman. And guess what? The whole family survived. They're fine. They loved Martina. Crazy about Martina. This, incidentally, is not a hatchet job on Martina. This is a book about a love story. This woman never met a homosexual in her life. I think you said you had a hairdresser.
Yeah, but I'm sure there were a lot of others, but I didn't know.
But you were the quintessential Texas belle. You were the homecoming queen, the cotton queen, the cheerleader, the sorority veep.
Yeah, vice president, pledge trainer of my school.
And you married the president of a fraternity.
Yeah, he was vice president of his fraternity.
Vice president.
Well, no, president of his fraternity, vice president of the student body.
Yeah.
I did it all just right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, must have been, I mean, it's like, must feel like 100 million years ago.
It does.
And you never, when you were little, thought that girls were neat, or you don't have most testimonies from people out of the closet, if that's...
That's okay.
Talk about, I knew when I was 5, I was 8, and I suppressed it. You never had any, you know...
I didn't have a clue.
You had no connection to the gay community, to anybody who was gay. You loved your husband, you got married, and your husband, incidentally, was a physician, or was in medical school at the time, or residency?
We married when he was a freshman in medical school.
Right. And you have these 2 beautiful young men as sons, and you've known Martina since 1984. Mm-hmm. You took up tennis. You better if you're going to be... you had a big house outside of Fort Worth?
Actually, we lived right in Fort Worth.
In Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And then you... who's the ball boy?
I was the ball boy at the tennis tournament.
And that was in '82. Martina and I met 2 years before we really got together.
Yeah. This book opens. Eddie, you're in the first line. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to find it now that we're spending $100,000 a minute on... Mom, this is Martina. Martina, this is my mom.
Or something like that.
Eddie said. Eddie is my older son. He is 22 years old now. But when that fateful introduction occurred, he was a boy of 11. It was March of 1982. Eddie was serving as one of the ball boys for a doubles match at Bridgestone World's Doubles Championship at Fort Worth, Texas.
I certainly couldn't conceive anything like
I
was
bet
about
you
to happen.
couldn't. I can't imagine. Whoa.
Yeah, I was completely surprised, that's for sure. Growing up, I'd never seen anything, I'd never seen her be attracted to a woman or in any way or form, so it was a shock, yeah.
12 you were?
Yeah. I didn't understand. I certainly did not understand.
But you did, first of all, there was no evidence of anything at this time, in 1982.
No.
Okay, so what did you chat in 1982 with Martina? We got a lot of work to do here. So let's go. We're going to short circuit.
We became. I mean, it was sort of instantly. We knew we were going to be friends. We just liked each other. Yeah, it was very comfortable. She was easy. Martina is a very charming, delightful person.
Were you a happily married woman at the time? May I share with this audience? Your book shares with us the fact that your husband had fallen in love with a nurse.
Yes, some 6 years prior to that. And he left and was gone. We were separated almost 2 years, although he came and went probably 5 different times during that 2 years. And then when he finally did come home, we worked really hard for about 6 years.
But in any event,
try and hold it together.
You had a marriage that was certainly having its problems, not unlike...
Yes.
Okay. And so you meet Martina. Now, when did you next, 1982, when did you next see her?
I saw her 2 years later.
At a tournament?
She came to Dallas to play a Virginia Slims tournament there. Called before she got to town, and I was going to be in town. The 2 years previous to that, my family and I had been in Colorado skiing because she usually comes to Dallas.
Right. This is when you went to the Wyndham Hotel?
Yes.
Dining room?
Yes.
Lunch?
Yes.
Martina's quick wit and gentle vulnerability were as seductive as they were charming. Judy, this now changes from first person in your book. Judy, you. Judy was both confused and compelled by her attraction to Martina. When they walked out to the parking lot to get in their cars, Martina gave Judy a kiss on the cheek. Judy wasn't clear about its meaning, and it left her even more confused. Martina said she would call Judy and that they would get together again in the next day or two. You were one. Now your wheels are turning, are they?
Yes. You know, I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that how I was feeling about Martina was different than I would feel about a girlfriend. You know, even somebody that I was really, really close to. It was a little bit different. So much so that I think I even relate the story in there that when I got home, I had a friend who was my age, was a psychiatrist in Fort Worth. And I called her up and...
Karen, I need to see you on a professional basis because either I'm going crazy or I'm going to be the most interesting case you've had in a long time. You said that?
I did, yeah.
Let's not forget that at the time of this Dallas, Virginia Slims tournament, Martina actually came to our house.
That's what I was about to get to. Martina pulls a hamstring.
Yes.
So you invite her, your place to convalesce.
Ed and I both did, actually.
Yeah. Your husband and you. Neat, boy. World-class tennis person right there in your own house. You guys must have been walking around.
Cool, yeah.
Well, okay, how long is she at the house?
She was there probably 10 days, something like that.
Judy and Martina spent the days together getting to know each other. This was the beginning of romance, and they were delighted to be near each other. You say we could spend more and more time together. There was a real getting to know each other period. We both tried to answer questions, she for herself and me for myself. At this stage, there was a definite relationship that had developed, so we had a lot to discuss. What were we going to do about the fact that we were in a relationship?
Tell you what, at the time, I was absolutely, completely naive that anything was going on.
I imagine.
Never saw a thing that I thought was suspicious the whole time.
Okay. Dr. Nelson, your husband, comes home early from the hospital one afternoon. I don't know where we get these audiences. Martina had been taking a nap and Judy was sitting beside her on the bed, and they were talking about what they would do when Martina had to leave to start playing tournaments again as the French Open was rapidly approaching. There was certainly nothing romantic going on then, but just in that moment, Ed understood the electricity between the two. Everyone recognized the moment of truth. The entire room was filled with tension. Judy saw the fear in Ed's face as she looked in his eyes.
I'll never forget that moment. At that point, I asked Ed if I could talk to him downstairs, that I felt like there were some issues that we really needed to deal with. Now, you need to know that the fact that the marriage was not working for both of us was not a surprise to Ed. What was a surprise, of course, is that I was in love with a woman. And that was devastating.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise to me, too.
Yeah. Now, you leave to be with her on the road, or how does she invite you to Europe?
Yes, she goes to the French Open. I, a few weeks later, went to the French Open to see her there. Left the boys and Ed, they went on a vacation with my parents. And I had not told Eddie and Bales yet that I was leaving to leave with Martina. That was a decision that I was trying to make at the time I was in Paris.
You got married in Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah. We made a commitment to one another.
Okay, yeah, married.
Two women can't legally get
True.
married.
Not even in Australia, huh?
Not even in Australia.
The ceremony in Brisbane was private, and Judy never told her friends or her family about it until after the breakup in 1991. Mm-hmm. You had known it as one of the happiest days of your life, yet it was something special between the two of them that she wanted to keep private in the midst of a highly public lifestyle, traveling the world with one of sport's most popular stars. When Judy eventually revealed the news of her marriages to her sons, Eddie, now 22, and Bales, now 19, they both responded with astonishment. You are quoted here saying, "Mom, you married Martina?"
This was only a year ago.
Oh, come on, Mom, you married her?
Yeah, it was just a year ago that they knew this, when they were reading the book, because I wanted them to read it as I was writing it with Sandra Faulkner. And Bales said, "Mom," I'll never forget it. You know,
well, she had told us any earlier, like a few years ago, that she had gotten married. I tell you what, I would have gone, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? You can't do that and this kind of thing. But when she told us, it's been so long since the breakup and the whole thing that it actually, I was able to understand, you know, here are two people that love each other. Okay, you know, they sort of made a commitment to each other. It was kind of their own little deal.
Uh-huh. Was it, Eddie, did you go to live with Martina and your mom?
No, that was Bales.
Bales.
Yeah.
At the time, you weren't too tight with your old man. Nothing serious, just rough. Right. You know, you were 12 or whatever.
Right.
Okay, no scandal. It's just that you went with, yeah, everything's cool now, you and Dad.
Right. I was old enough just to be completely incensed by the whole thing. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't understand it. I automatically took sides with my dad. I automatically went to go live with my dad. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. But that all changed over time, of course. I mean,
well, yeah. I was 12 years old, and how many 12-year-olds are at their mom's hip?
Well, not only that, you weren't really, actually, you were more emotionally affected, if we say, by this situation than was.
I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't.
You were, you know, I mean, you ever meet a 9-year-old? What do they know?
Yeah, he was a little boy. He still needed mother. And Ed and I think we were very aware of that, and we I think really looked at what the boys needed and their needs over ours at that point.
You, for legal purposes, you and Martina Navratilova, who at the time was women's tennis, and we may say today expresses herself in a most unique way.
Yes, she does.
Around the world. What an athlete. You sit down before a video camera. Is this in the house in Aspen?
In Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And you make a deal wherein you are committing to each other an agreement whereby you will share earnings equally. You are a partnership, and I assume you think of this as a rather legal bond between you that is more than just for the law. It is also for your emotional.
Yes, I think it's
you wanted to express yourself in a real, tangible, emotional way.
Yes, I think so.
Here is part of that. Who's the woman in this?
Beanne Sizemore, a friend of ours who's a paralegal.
So she's a paralegal. She's, look, you don't want witnesses to this, so we'll have this tape and we'll all hide it. Nobody will see it. But it's ours, and this will be proof. Watch a piece of this. Watch this.
Right. Okay. Today is February 22nd, 1985. Saturday. 1986. Sorry.
1986. We're okay.
And we are in Fort Worth, Texas, at 708 Roaring Springs Road. And the reason we're here is because Judy and Martina want to sign an agreement. that makes them partners in whatever they do financially, like they've already been partners. And
For almost 2 years.
for almost 2 years.
There's more to that. We'll show it to you in just a moment. And we'll also check in just a moment with Judy what happened to this relationship. It's not overstating it to say these were the happiest years of your life. Huh?
It was the best relationship I've ever had. And those were the happiest years.
So what happened? All right, I know you got a question. Hang on a minute. We'll be back with Judy Nelson and her loving, devoted, good-looking sons, Edward and Dales, in just a moment.
There is no excuse for illiteracy. Learning to read should be simple. Phonics makes reading simple by teaching letter sounds and syllables. I learned to read with phonics.
Learn to read with Hooked on Phonics, the musical reading program. Then, read to learn with SRA reading comprehension used by over 60 million people.
Hooked on Phonics worked for me.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Women's leather Keds. To get them clean, you only need to know 2 steps. Washable, dryable leather from Keds. Washable, dryable leather walking shoes from Keds.
This student was sexually abused by his teacher's aide and her voyeuristic husband.
I wanted to end because I knew it wasn't right.
On the next Maury, hear how the couple gained his custody and why he stayed.
I think I was looking for a mother's love.
He was a prisoner of love, and this doctor is hitting the city streets, giving out condoms and hope to prostitutes.
They're really wonderful women.
She's saving the street girls.
I don't want to die.
On the next Maury Povich Show.
The Maury Povich Show, this morning at 11 on Channel 2.
There's got to be an easier way to lose weight.
There is. Quick Weight Loss Centers now featuring the Inner Diet for everyone having difficulty losing weight and keeping it off. The Inner Diet helps eliminate the causes of your weight problem. Alexandra thanks us for showing her how to control her eating habits, lose 40 pounds, and keep it off. Sherry lost 63 pounds eating out and never felt hungry. Lose weight just $9 a week at Quick Weight Loss Centers, 509-8400, 509-8400.
When a catastrophic accident strikes, the results can be devastating. Serious injuries demand serious choices. At the Midtown Law Center, we can help you take control by advising you on long-term decisions while maximizing the value of your case through a wide range of legal and economic tools. Call us now at 897-2787 for your free consultation. 897-2787. Call us now.
Okay, so what happens, Judy? Things start to go bad. Did you not, was the first yellow light for you, Martina was giving some attention to a female ski instructor in Aspen, is that so?
I think that probably there were problems earlier than that. But to be very honest, I was unaware of them. So obviously, like in any couple, whether it's heterosexual or homosexual, the dynamics within that relationship are the same. You know, if there's a communication is breaking down, that's what was going on.
You felt it.
I felt it. The communication was not there as it had always been. The fact that Martina would really leave me, though, I didn't think she ever would.
Let me just share this from what you shared with our producer. Martina and I were together for 8 years. It was a great relationship. We were madly in love with each other. My kids came to love her. My parents came to love her. Boy, your parents must have been rocked. I mean, here you...
That's not even the word for it. That's not even the word for it.
And they're Texan as well.
My parents were born in Fort Worth as well. So we've been sort of rocks of that community forever and ever.
Even though her parents, meaning Martina's parents, are totally against the fact that she loved another woman, her parents, Martina's parents, took you in as their own.
Yeah, they did. I think that after we were together for some years, I think that they began to think that, yeah, this is a good relationship. It works. We're happy. Martina was very successful. We were a good team. We worked together. We did a lot of things for the communities together. I established a clothing company and she wore the clothes that I designed, the tennis clothes. And
that my grandmother made.
Yeah,
by hand.
That was an interesting story too, yeah.
After 8 years together, I don't know what happened, you told us. Martina walked out on me, that's all I know. I didn't see the signs, I didn't know it would happen, she just left me. I can't really say why, I have my theories. I think probably another woman was involved. I was devastated.
I was devastated.
We all were devastated.
Yeah.
Martina was my best, one of my best friends.
You really liked her.
Oh,
she's cool, isn't she?
She's great.
Yeah, we played sports with her. We did all kinds of things.
She did basketball, didn't she, with you guys?
Yeah, yeah. Well, South Park.
Everything. They played a lot of football. I can remember them going out.
She played all sports with us.
Playing
all the time.
Football.
She came to all of our games in high school and stuff like that.
Phil, Eddie said an interesting thing to me. Bales is the one that lived with us most of the time, but Eddie would spend, after school time and weekend times with us. But I remember a time that when Eddie was a senior in high school, he flew to Florida to meet us for a weekend for a pro celebrity tournament. And we were sitting in the back of the car. It was just Eddie, Martina, and myself in a car, and we were driving to the tournament. And he said, I want you to know, Mom and Martina, that in the beginning, I was so angry because you did this, and it changed my life forever, and my life would never be the same. And I was really angry about that. He said, but now I want you to know that you changed it for the better, that I'm a better person for having gone through all of this, and that, Martina, I'm a better person for having known you. Because of you, I'm physically better.
Absolutely.
He had to.
She put you through this.
Yeah.
She made me better in a lot of
It's like
aspects.
Eddie
She made
said,
me more competitive.
Yeah.
She made me
You can't be a wimp and live around Martina. Truly.
Right. Well, you have to have it from the neck up if you're going to be a world-class athlete.
That's right.
Certainly she had. So she was really, she moved you to. She kicked your butt, I guess.
She's a strong person. She's a good motivator. That's for sure.
I tried to talk to Martina after she left. I called her constantly, and I was always referred to her agent or her lawyer.
That's correct.
It was heartbreaking.
Martina has a certain way about leaving, and it's very abrupt. It's a pattern, and I fell right into the pattern. She left, and there was no talking about it. It was just simply over.
So I filed a lawsuit.
The book is a lot of therapy for me.
We had an agreement. It never should have had to go this far. A deal's a deal. I'm 47. I've got 2 kids. I gave Martina the best years of my life, and it was just like, hey, deal with it, Martina. Her lawyers told me that they'd ruin you emotionally and financially if you pursued this lawsuit. Here is another piece, a look at your deal, your agreement. Was the year 1980-something?
86.
Here you are in Fort Worth with a paralegal sealing the deal.
It's the intent of this agreement to make y'all partners. Partners in everything. Partners if you lose, partners if you win. Do you both understand that?
Yes.
There are spaces for witnesses, and both of you have indicated that you don't want outside witnesses because this is a private agreement. Okay, I now pronounce you partners.
Oh. Hey, partner. Goodbye.
After a lot of contentious back and forth with lawyers, you did receive an undisclosed cash settlement and the house in Aspen. Do I understand that?
Yes, we have a settlement that Martina and I worked out together that I think it was probably fair for both of us.
Martina argued that it wasn't halfies for everything that I own and ever have been and have in the bank. It was halfies for the for the activities, for the money we earned in activities in which we were partnered.
Watching this stuff from behind the scenes, though, it was...
She was partnered in everything that ever happened.
Without Mom, Martina wouldn't have been half of what she was. And Mom worked so hard, did so much.
Boys or what?
Well, I believe him, though. I believe he believes it. And 8 years, remember, this is 8 years now, and you are everything. You're the agent, the scheduler, the booker. She's a worldwide personality. Here's a woman can't walk down any street in the world.
That's right. They yell from the top of the buildings here in New York, Martina.
She's a great big generator of a lot of work, is the point. And you're saying Mom was...
Oh, right. She's the brainchild or the mastermind behind most of Martina's philanthropic activity. You know, all the charity stuff, put together things, got her endorsements, stuff like that. She was basically another business manager.
I've learned a lot about myself, and my family and my friends are okay now. But I will tell you it's been an uphill road for all of us. And I will also say that my years with Martina were wonderful. We were madly in love. And we'll be back in just a moment.
To Your Health, an informational moment about health and fitness is brought to you by Dental One Associates.
As you well know, there's been a growing concern about the transmission of infectious diseases in the dental office. Many patients delay important preventative care as a result of this concern. Dental One Associates would like to increase your awareness of the protective measures we take before you receive care so you don't have to delay your visit. Instruments, as well as handpieces, are sterilized in hospital steam autoclaves. Disposable supplies are used whenever possible. All clinical staff wear protective clothing and receive ongoing training on the latest regulations and guidelines. Call any one of our offices and ask our staff to review infection control guidelines with you. Ask about our full range of dental services, including implants and braces. We're confident that you'll be pleased with the quality of care and our service.
To Your Health has been brought to you by Dental One Associates.
Hi, folks. I'm Tom Park here at Atlanta Buick in Gwinnett, where the race is on to sell 1,000 cars by the Indy 500. Only one way to do it, mark them down to move them out. In fact, you can take advantage of all the factory rebates that are in place on every brand new Buick in our inventory, like this Park Avenue, plus only at Atlanta Buick while the race is on, 5.5% APR financing. How about a brand new 93 90th anniversary LeSabre? Has the power windows, power seats, and more. Now, it's priced at $18,999. Plus, you can take advantage only at Atlanta Buick of 5.5% APR financing and choose from 10 of them at that price, or choose from 10 limited edition 93 special edition Regals. Power seats, power windows, leather interior, priced at $17,999. And you can take advantage of the 5.5% financing, or 10 brand new 93 Buick Centuries. These have the SE Prestige package, power windows, power seats. I could go on and on. Just $14,966. And with the 5.5 financing, $229 a month. Hurry in to Atlanta Buick.
Yeah. Hi, you wanted to say, caller.
Hi. Well, I believe my mom's a lesbian. She's still married to my father, but ever since I can remember, she's had best friends, some of who I thought were gay, but I thought, no, my mom isn't. Some of my high school friends used to say, oh, that gym teacher, she's gay. And I'd be like, God, that's my mom's best friend. I'd think, is my mom? I'd be like, no. But about 3 years ago, I found a letter from my mom's best friend at the time that pretty much said some things that normal friends just don't write to each other, like you had just had a gorgeous tan and you were irresistible, and I was really shocked. And my mom has not told me yet. And I've been thinking about this for about 3 years now, and every now and then I just think about my dad, because I don't know if he knows, and she hasn't told me, but I think she is. And I have so much fun with her friends, though, because we all hang out sometimes. I'm in college now, and when I go home, you know, we all go out. Sometimes we went to Chinese, and we have a blast, but I sit and think, you know, is this my mom's lover? I mean, Judy, I want to know, what do I ask my mom? How do I approach her with this? I don't know what to say.
I think the first thing I would ask you is, are your mother and daddy happy? Are your parents happy together?
I don't think so. My parents are about 19 years apart. They're very independent. My mom, she goes out all the time, and it's usually with her female friends. My dad has his own business, and he's very much involved with that. So they're not a couple anymore to me. I think they should live apart. I don't know why they're married.
So this is something that you just really want to know for yourself?
Yeah, I wish my mom would tell me.
I think you should ask her. Just
I guess,
have lunch with her and talk to her about it. If if indeed these women are just her friends, hey, that's okay too.
Eddie and Bales, get in this.
I'll tell you what, when I had my suspicions sooner or later because it went some time before they actually came out and told us. So finally, I just got up the nerve. I go, listen, I'm close to my mom. I want to know, and I just came right out and I asked. And of course, when my suspicions were confirmed, I was able to rant and rave all I wanted. But at least I knew, you know.
And you went off when you
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We were in a car driving home from summer camp. It was the last time that my parents were together. They picked us up from summer camp, and we were driving home, and I mean, I wanted out of the car right then. I mean, I just wanted to be able to scream at anything. So.
I didn't know. I was scared to lose my mom. I wasn't very close to my father at the time, and what I saw it was is her leaving me, and so it didn't matter to me.
The counsel from these folks, you might want to, if you're at college, I'm sure they have some professional people who would be happy to talk to you about this in private. The counsel from this family is to, if, you know, trust your mom, trust her love for you.
She loves me more than anything.
She what?
My mother loves me more than anything, and I mean, that's why I don't know why she hasn't told me. I don't know if she thinks I'm stupid, because it's weird, every now and again it hits me. When she comes to college, she'll bring her best friend and not my father. And then I get upset at her sometimes, and she wouldn't know why, and that's what I think it is.
Well, maybe if she asked, it would help her mother. You know, if she really indeed is, and maybe she needs a chance to be able to talk about it, and you're asking her would give her that permission.
We are about to meet a husband. Married 18 years, 3 children. 6 years ago, his wife left him for another woman. We will also meet a lesbian couple, both of whom were married, and I think both have children. And we'll meet them in just a moment.
I don't drive no limousine, don't fancy that fine cuisine. I got no use for that rat race routine. I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound.
Leave the car home and leave the driving to us, because we've cut our fares to thousands of places. No strings attached.
I go simple, I go easy, I go Greyhound. And leave the driving to us.
Johnny was in the kitchen when he noticed his mother with a really weird grin. See, that day, she found the classic Good Humor bars in her supermarket, and she was transported back to her childhood with delicious memories of
chocolate eclair, strawberry shortcake, toasted almonds, and chocolate candy crunch.
Johnny was curious. He took a bite, and all of a sudden, Johnny was transported too! Good Humor. The name will take you back, the taste will take you away.
Yo, baby boomers, the next generation's coming after you.
I'm Jeff Dorr. The baby busters are coming on strong, and their views and ways will change our lives.
Generation X, tonight at 5 on Channel 2 Action News. Coverage you can count on.
Georgia's Unsolved Mysteries continues. Chapter 3, Romance in the Park turns to murder. Chapter 4, legend has it the Guidestones mark the Indian center of the earth.
Georgia's Unsolved Mysteries, tonight at 6 on Channel 2 Action News.
This week, during Big B Drug's Quick Pick Jackpot, get great savings on Ultra Slim Fast, the delicious, nutritious way to lose weight. Each Slim Fast shake is rich, thick, and low in fat. Lose weight and keep it off with Ultra Slim Fast. And Rembrandt Whitening Toothpaste is clinically proven to safely remove stains, plaque, and tartar. It's so safe and effective that it's recommended by over 40,000 dentists. Come to Big B Drugs, where selection and savings are right around the corner.
As a Jenny Pruitt realtor, I look forward to meeting with prospective buyers like you. Everyone's unique. That's why at Hedgewood Properties, we offer a combination of design, service, and community. Our award-winning plans can be modified to suit your lifestyle. Our homes are certified energy-wise by Atlantic Gas Light Company. We recommend First Town Mortgage for a mortgage that meets your needs and abilities. First Town is fast, professional, and offers the lowest 30-year fixed rates in Atlanta. Hedgewood Properties, quality and trust go hand in hand.
They're calling it the Decade of Women, but I know one woman who's not waiting for success to come to me. I'm going after it. That's why I went to Georgia Medical Institute. I learned a skill in one of the fastest growing careers anywhere, a secure career, a rewarding career, a medical career. Don't wait for it to come to you. Go after it. Call Georgia Medical and watch your new life unfold.
It's time to start thinking about a career. Call Georgia Medical Institute now for more information on your future.
This is a Channel 2 Action News Update. Coverage you can count on.
Atlanta police search for suspects in the murder of a man whose body was found lying on a sidewalk in southwest Atlanta. The jury gets the case of a woman who was raped after she asked her attacker to wear a condom. And a homeowner says it was a scene similar to the Alfred Hitchcock drama, The Birds. We'll explain. Hello, I'm Vic Carter. Join us for these stories, plus Karen's latest forecast today at noon on Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Bud, let's go here. We got lots of work to do. Bud McCune joins us. You were 23 when you married her. She was 19.
Right.
Starry-eyed couple, 3 kids.
Oh, yes.
You acknowledge that the marriage wasn't altogether what you had hoped it would be in terms of intimacy. Do I understand?
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of problems in that area and a lot of other problems like many other couples have.
Well, we want to call this sexual dysfunction or just sexual passivity, probably, huh?
Oh, you can put any label you want on it, I suppose.
Right. But you were together for?
We were together for 18 years. Now, correction, she did not leave me for another woman. She discovered that she was gay about 1.5 years after we were divorced.
That's true. That's true. That's how we understand it. I'm sorry to have misspoken. So it was after you were divorced. So you got divorced for the typical reasons of, hey, it's
not working.
Let's move on.
We worked on it hard. We tried to make it work. It did not work.
Right. So having learned this about your ex-wife certainly was, do I assume, less of a painful arrow in the heart for you if it would have happened while you were married?
Not really. It was still very devastating because there's a part of me, like I think many people, when they divorce, they hang on to that little 1% that maybe someday we'll get back together.
I see.
And I was hanging on to that up until the time she announced she was gay, and that dropped it just like that. But it was still very painful.
Tell me why you say that. What is it with a guy? What happens to you? What does it do to you? Why
for a
does it
lot of us,
threaten
at
you
least
so?
for me at that time, part of it at least is where we carry our ego.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somewhat south of the navel. And when we're hit with that, it dropped us. It hits hard. And the first questions I asked was, what did I do to cause the problem? How could I correct it? As males in our society, we're often taught we can fix anything. What can I do to change her back? And the third, are my children safe to be with her?
Sure. Oh, no, I didn't mean to say sure to that. You actually...
It was all illogical at the time.
Yeah, but you're divorced 1 year and you're still... And is it true to say, Bud, that you're still PO'd?
Pardon?
You're angry.
There's still anger there. I haven't worked through it all. She and I are friends. We're far better friends now than we ever were when we were married.
Oh, God, same.
And I have friends with her and with her partner. She is in a partnership, but I've been in another relationship for 3.5 years, too, and it's very loving, it's very intimate, it's very caring.
And it is a heterosexual relationship.
Oh, yes.
But Judy...
Oh, yes, very definitely.
You know,
but
Bill,
Judy wants to know...
Something here. I want to say something, and that is that it's very important, if I have anything to say at all, having been very heterosexual and now homosexual, is that what we need to do is take away the labels and just look at the people. People are just people. And relationships are good and healthy and happy, and there are those that aren't. You know, and wouldn't you rather have a family that's happy if you have children, even if it's 2 women or 2 men, and you can give to each other and laugh and play, than one that sits at home and they kind of stare at each other and wonder what in the world we're doing here?
Linda Levy and Eileen Weidler. Weiler, no D. Linda, you were married for 10 years.
That's right.
Eileen, you were married for over 26 years.
Correct.
Linda, you both have, Linda, you have 3 children. Eileen, you have 2.
Correct.
What happened?
Well, I grew up in a very heterosexual society. I could never have anticipated doing anything but getting married, which I did promptly upon graduation from college. I had a fairly usual marriage, had children, had a profession, and found myself having a new friend Matter of fact, my husband and I found ourselves having new friends, a couple who we spent a lot of time with socially and enjoyed being with. And what gradually became obvious to both the other woman and myself was that we really wanted to be with each other. We didn't want to be with our husbands. And we had this fantasy of being together forever and raising our children together.
You were pals as married people then?
No, this was with somebody else.
Someone else.
Yes, Eileen's only been out for 3 years. I've been out for 20 years.
So you did have then an intimate relationship with the wife in a partnered social relationship you had when you were married?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And how long did that take to express itself?
We became friends over a period of about 2 years, just gradually getting to know each other.
And were you a suburban girl?
I was a city.
City.
New York City.
But you're raising kids and, you know, yak on the phone, like...
We were on the phone. We also shared a summer community together where we got to spend a lot of time around each other.
And throughout those 2 years, something very special or important was happening to you, emotionally speaking. Is that how we want to say it?
Yeah, I guess the first thing was building of a kind of a trust, being able to tell her things that I'd never told anybody before.
Right.
And feeling a camaraderie.
Right.
And I would ask a question here of just women in general, and that is, what do you think we as women are saying when you say those things? Is there something different that you can do with a woman that you're not doing with a man? And I mean on just an intellectual level, even on an emotional level?
I think that's what I ended up deciding was true for me, that the level of emotional involvement with a woman is just deeper. I think when I was younger, I couldn't have had a deep emotional relationship with anyone, male or female. I just wasn't, that wasn't part of what I knew about myself. I didn't allow that of myself. I got into therapy, I discovered some things about myself. I gave myself permission to be emotional and to relate, and it was
Would you agree that this
is
is maybe not for everyone, but it's simply some people feel this and some don't?
I think people need to be allowed to be in love with and relate to emotionally whomever the feeling draws them.
And you
toward.
can't dictate that.
Absolutely not.
With time running out. The time running out. Was she married when you met her?
No.
No. I'm looking for scandal here. I mean, that's what we do. Hey, come on, it's rating period. Let's go with this
we're
scandal.
both out looking.
All right, you're both single. Did you say, honey, I'm gay, I'm gone, to your husband?
He kind of discovered. He kind of came in, I guess he had gone to sleep early, and the woman and I, he caught us kissing, is what happened. And he had all kinds of names to call us. He didn't understand, he didn't know, this was 20 years ago. And we decided we would try to work it out and we would see if we could save our marriage. He didn't, you know, neither one of us really understood why all this was happening.
Okay, but finally, the marriage ended.
Oh, yes.
And then couple years after that, you met Eileen. Is that how we said it?
No. We're together 8 months.
Oh,
we're
8
new.
months.
We're new.
You're new, I see.
Yes, I've been in a couple of long-term relationships.
Right. Eileen, are you, you were...
I was married 26 and a half years when I came out.
How'd he take it?
Not well. Nobody took it well. It was a very, very difficult time in my life in terms of how was I going to deal with the ramifications of my sharing with my family and my children, my coming out. But it was a very long, painful journey for me as well. And if I'm going to say anything here important, it's for women out there to realize that it's okay to be who you are. You don't have to be in a box for 26 and a half years doing the right thing.
Right.
I, like Judy and Linda, did what I thought was right. It's what I had information handed down to me to do, and that was to get married.
Right. You did suffer from bulimia, didn't you?
Yes.
How old were you when you checked in for that?
How old was I when I checked in for treatment?
Yeah.
It was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. And
June
you fell in love with
26th.
your roommate at
Yes,
the treatment
I did.
center.
Mm-hmm.
And that was your first lesbian experience then, is that how we want
That was my first intimate relationship and emotional relationship with a woman on a discussed level in terms
where
of...
you actually talked about it.
That's right. I have known that I was a lesbian since I was in high school. And we're talking about, I just turned 50. So we're talking about in the mid-50s, I didn't have resources. I didn't have anyone to share the information with. So I really had a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and a lot of uncertainty about what was going on for me. And there was nobody out there to kind of guide me and direct me.
This is one of the big differences for me, is that I grew up having no inkling that I was a lesbian. Looking back, once I came out, I realized, oh, I had feelings for a college teacher of mine, a woman, but I had to put those away. I consciously said, I wonder what that's about. I'm not dealing with that.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Bert's always too tired. Oh, baby, I'm so tired.
When we have sex, Alice always complains.
Couples really tell the truth about sex on the next Oprah.
Today at 4 on Channel 2.
Right now at Wallpaper Atlanta and Myron Dwoskins, save 50% on all in-stock wallpaper. Save 75% on Advantage Plus mini blinds, and we'll install them free. Wallpaper Atlanta and Myron Dwoskins. Hurry, sale ends Monday.
What in this world can you get for $49.99? At America's Best, new patients get contact lenses or 2 pair of eyeglasses for $49.99, including the eye exam. America's Best contacts and eyeglasses. Daily wear soft contacts or 2 pair of eyeglasses, $49.99, including the eye exam. Now.
At work, I sell the finest from the deli. At home, I serve the finest. Eckrich smoked sausage. Eckrich starts with the finest cuts of meat, and then they take the extra step of grinding it, not once, but twice for the finest texture. It's that extra step that makes the taste of Eckrich the finest from the deli.
Buy Eckrich and bowl free. See specially marked packages for details.
Our rodeo's for you. Cowboy starts to fly as those big bulls jump high. Go spinning round and round.
Hey, cowboy, looking for a little excitement? Look no further. Channel 2 and your local Dodge truck dealer are bringing you one of the most exciting events ever to come to Atlanta. The 28th Annual Dodge DeKalb County Sheriff's Posse Rodeo, May 13th through 16th. Stone Mountain Covered Arena. Ticket information, call 249-6400 or any Ticketmaster outlet.
For a transcript of Donahue, send $3 to Journal Graphics, 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203, or call 303-831-9000. To order a video cassette for only $24.95, just call 1-800-FOR-VIDEO.
Love match. Nelson versus Navratilova is with Sandra Faulkner and Judy Nelson, so this is certainly autobiographical. It tells the story of the Texas Christian graduate who married the president of the student body. She was Queen of Cotton and all those things down there. And then all of a sudden, wham, she falls in love with Martina. Yeah.
I have a question for Judy. Your husband's having an affair. You're vulnerable. Would you have had an affair with another woman if it had not been Martina? And have you had relationships since then with other women?
That's a good question. I think that it probably had to be a woman, because I was a good Southern girl, and there's no way in the world. I had made a commitment to this man for life, you know, and I was truly monogamous, would always be. And to have even put myself in a situation that I would put myself out there emotionally for a guy, that never would have happened. I never would have had that lunch with a man. But I was very unaware. I went to lunch with a woman, like any other woman I'd gone to lunch with, except that this one was Martina.
And now there is a woman in your life, is there not?
Yes.
And is there you're not circumspect about sharing who it is with us?
No.
Her name is Rita Mae Brown.
Yes.
And she's the novelist.
Yes.
And she is also a former lover of Martina Navratilova.
Yes.
This question goes to Eddie and Bells.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how did you come to terms with your own sexuality? I mean...
Were you... yeah.
Did you
At the point that this all came up, I mean, I had always been into girls the whole time, so I never really had any, there wasn't any change in that. I mean, it's been that way all my life, and I'd already sort of, my sexuality was already determined before Mom and Martina ever got together.
So, Phil, it's not catching.
Yeah, this is for Judy. You seem like a very nice woman. I'm wondering, what are your motives for exploiting this relationship, and also, how has Martina reacted to the book?
All right, first of all, I would like to say I don't think I've exploited the relationship. The book is really about my life. Martina was a big part of that life. I can't leave out those 8 years. I would have written this book if I were still with Martina. She knew that, because I felt like I had a lot to say about families such as this, because I think we were successful. It worked. We made it work. It was hard. They didn't instantly say, oh, great, Mom's with a woman. You know, we had to really work at that.
Eileen, your kids are troubled by this, aren't they?
They're not thrilled with all of this, no. When I came out to the kids and my ex-husband, I had to make a very, very difficult decision because I really wanted to consider their feelings and what would be going on. I chose to leave New York, and I moved down to West Virginia, and they just told people that I went off to live with a friend from college.
So you are estranged, then, from your own kids?
No, I'm not.
You talk to them?
Yeah, I see them regularly, and I talk with them, but they're not really accepting of my life.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Only one tea maker has a patented steeping process for consistently great-tasting iced tea. Only one comes in a 3-quart family size. And if that's not enough, only one comes from Mr. Coffee, the iced teapot. What'll he think of next?
Why is Tux Medicated Pads the brand of hemorrhoid relief hospitals trust most? Because when hemorrhoids flare up, Tux provides soothing, cooling relief on contact. Tux, the brand hospitals trust most.
This message is brought to you by Caring Companions.
Good nutrition is vital for every member of your family. Your veterinarian can prescribe the best diet for your pet's special needs, particularly if your pet has any medical problems.
This Caring Companions message is brought to you by the Georgia Veterinary Medical Association and Provisions, a division of Ralston Purina. If your pet requires a veterinarian prescribed diet, call this number for information on clinical nutrition management.
Wake up! Wake up!
It's the Wolfman here for Gallery Furniture. It's baseball season and the best time to buy furniture to enjoy all the games.
Yeah, Dad sleeps on his favorite recliner while the rest of the family watches the games on the sofa and love seat.
All wood dinette chair $10, recliner $77, a 4-piece black lacquer bedroom set $259.
It's furniture season at Gallery Furniture, 2511 Roosevelt Highway in College Park and 1600 Brownsbridge Road in Gainesville.
Take me out to the gallery.
If you shop any day at Cub Foods, you'll get a big bag full of savings with Cub Foods assured minimum prices. But if you shop during Cub Foods' buy one, get one free sale, you'll double your savings. You'll discover items throughout Cub Food stores that you buy for your family every week. Only this week, you'll get 2 items for the price of 1. So double your savings during Cub Foods' buy one, get one free sale. It's like getting 2 bags of groceries for the price of 1.
Get ready, Atlanta. It's time for the Atlanta Home Festival, and it has everything under the roof to make your home reflect the lifestyle for the 90s. This is the great show with great interior designs. It's traditional. It has a European flair. It's contemporary. It has everything for everyone. And it all goes to benefit the Scottish Rite Children's Medical Center. The Atlanta Home Festival, May 14th through the 31st, is located in Sentinel on the river. Call 641-9415 for more information.
To be part of the audience, please send a postcard to Donahue Tickets, care of NBC, 30 Rockefeller Plaza, New York, New York, 10112. Remember, postcards only, please.
I apologize for having very little time, caller. You wanted to say briefly.
Yes. I'm a 34-year-old virgin. I've had heavy petting experience with men. And this question's for Judy. I've been kissed by a woman, and it was someone who was very close to me. And the feelings that it stirred confused my sexuality even more. Is that the way it was with you and Martina?
Yes. Yeah, actually, I think that, to be very honest, the feeling to me was, well, wow, this is just like kissing a guy. You know, what I'm saying here is that it doesn't make any difference. It's what you feel for that person that makes the difference.
Linda, did you want to add?
And is it honest?
Yeah, I just, the electricity that was part of my experience of being with a woman for the first time was wonderful. And I think people should allow themselves wonderful experiences. Really shouldn't matter whether it's with a man or a woman.
This is a question for Eddie and Vales. Does Martina at least keep in touch with you two since she was so close with you?
When they had their trial, I wrote Martina a letter to tell her that I still cared for her. We were best friends, that my problems with her, I had no problems with her like my mom did.
Well, it was a pre-trial. Martina and I never went to
I
court.
asked her to keep in touch with me so we could still, you know, ski and hang out together, and she said that's great, and she hugged me, and we cried, and that was, she called me on my 18th birthday, and I haven't talked to her since.
Yeah, the woman on the end, you say that you were married for 26 years.
Correct.
I mean, don't you feel that you were fooling your husband for 26 years, and you said that you knew that at the age of 15 that you were a lesbian?
That was part of the difficult journey for me, because I think for a lot of women that don't have the support and the information available, they live that lie, and it's not free from guilt. It's not a relationship that doesn't have its negative impact for everybody.
Judy, if Martina had left you for another man, would you have been any more hurt?
No. Just the fact that she left was devastating.
Eddie, what do you tell your friends about your mom?
Well, actually, my friends, it was such a public thing that they already knew pretty much the whole thing, and they could follow it in the press if they wanted to. So I never really had to explain a whole lot. They sort of just accepted me as their friend, accepted my mom as the great lady she is, and everything was fine.
And we'll be back in a moment.
People living with pain keep thanking me
Thanks, Joe.
for telling them about Flexall 454, the aloe vera-based pain-relieving gel recommended by the athletic trainers of all major pro sports.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe.
Flexall, America's #1 pain-relieving gel. #1 at helping people feel better, live better, work better. If you're living with pain, get better. Get Flexall, the pain relief pro trainers recommend.
Everybody's talking about Barranco's Straight Talk and unbeatable deals. Take the Barranco price comparison test. Barranco's price is always lower.
I paid much less without the runaround.
I got the best price. He traded my way.
We would never buy from anyone else.
For Straight Talk and an unbeatable deal, see Barranco, Lincoln Mercury, Pontiac, GMC Truck, or Acura. Barranco Automotive, Atlanta's driving force.
Summer's here, and so are my favorite things. Cookouts, homemade ice cream, and a goodies sale.
Take action on all the great savings at Goodies Summer Preview Sale. Junior bodysuits only $7 and striped denim shorts for $18. Duck head for men in printed t-shirts are only $12. Solid shorts $19. Knit and woven shirts only $22. Summer Preview Sale through Tuesday.
Get over to Goodies and taste summer's best fashion flavors, all at reduced prices. Ice cream's ready.
The cream of the crop, the top of the heap, the best of the best, the sale of all sales, and it's going on now at Recreational Factory Warehouse. Get our lowest price ever on this giant family-size Hampton pool package featuring wood grain wall, extra wide top rails, heavy gauge liner, low maintenance cartridge filter, ladder accessories, everything you need, only $6.99. You'd expect to pay hundreds more for this package, but today it's only $6.99. So what are you waiting for? Get going or you'll miss the sale of sales happening now at Recreational Factory Warehouse, your pool and spa superstore.
I looked in the mirror and I just went, oh my gosh, I look like a different person. I was huge. I went to Jenny Craig because I needed someone to help me the whole way through. I had a lot of bad habits. Deborah helped me change them one at a time, and I could call her anytime I needed her. I got the help, and I want to just, tell people, don't be afraid to reach out and get that help.
Get personal weight management at Jenny Craig. Pay as you go, just $6 a week. Call 1-800-92-JENNY.
She and her child were killed in their beds. Now, 10 years later, the convicted murderer is freed after the real killer is found.
Love Match is the story of the love affair between Judy Nelson and Martina Navratilova. Bud, you wanted to say?
The worst thing in any kind of relationship like this is that you don't know. The women don't know, neither does the man. They're not trying to keep a secret from you. They just simply don't know. I know.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
For what's new, what's next in the world of skin science,
Watch for Vaseline Intensive Care updates. From Intensive Research comes Intensive Care.
The Remington microscreen shaves as close as a blade or your money back. It's quick, smooth, comfortable, a great value. That's Remington.
Guest accommodations provided by the luxurious Drake Hotel, a Swiss hotel on Park Avenue. Call 1-800-DRAKE New York and ask about our weekend and honeymoon packages, starting at $125.
Meet a doctor who's saving the lives of prostitutes, and hear how a teacher's aide turned a boy's love into obscene crimes. Next.